the background, sacrifices and debates. The mid-first millennium BCE is often regarded as a turning point in world history. It saw the emergence of thinkers. Now note down the thinkers that were there. Zarathustra in Iran, Kongzi in China, Socrates, Plato and Aristotle, these three in Greece, Mahavir and Gautam Buddha in India, and there were many more. They tried to understand the mystery of existence and relationship between human beings and the cosmic order. So now, same period, we are talking about more of a cultural and other beliefs. Now, people started to, and especially these philosophers and thinkers, they started to think about the mystery of existence, why we exist, and what is the relationship between human beings and cosmic order. Cosmic order, the sun, the earth, the planets, the stars. This was also the time when new kingdoms and cities were developing and social and economic life was changing. We have done this shirt in chapter 2 and 3. In chapter 2, we did more of economic life, and chapter 3, we did social life. The sacrificial tradition. There were several pre-existing traditions of thought, religious belief, and practice, including the Vedic tradition. So, from where do we know about the Vedic tradition? From Rig Veda. Rig Veda was compiled, put together between 1500 to 1000 BCE. As the years reduce in BCE, we come closer to our period. Okay? The Rig Veda consists of hymns in praise of variety of deities, especially. So Rig Veda has hymns, or we can say shlokas or mantras, which is written in the praise of Agni Devi, Indra Devta, Som Devta. Many of these hymns were chanted when the sacrifices were performed. So why were sacrifices performed? People, when they have to pray for somebody's long life, or somebody's good health, or to get sons, or prayed for the well-being of their cattle, because some of them owned hundreds and hundreds of animals. Then kings, they perform sacrifices to be victorious in any war, or many other reasons. At first, sacrifices were performed collectively by the whole family or by the whole community. Later, some were performed by the heads of household for the well-being of domestic unit, or we can say for the well-being of the family. More elaborate sacrifices such as Raja Siva and Ashwamedha were performed by the chiefs or by the kings, who depended on Brahmin priests to conduct the rituals. Alright? New questions. Many ideas found in Upanishads show that people were curious about the meaning of life, possibility of life after death. These were the questions that were going on in people's mind. And rebirth, was rebirth due to actions? Such issues were hotly debated. Thinkers were concerned with understanding and expressing the nature of ultimate reality. Now, ultimate reality, some people call it God, Allah, Khuda, ultimate reality. So, the thinkers, the philosophers also wanted to know what is this ultimate reality, what kind of form it has. And then there were others who said whether there was one single ultimate reality or not. Okay, people also began to question the sacrificial tradition, that this tradition of sacrifices, whether it should be done or not. Then we get a glimpse of lively discussions and debates. I have told you earlier that all the philosophers, the thinkers used to have discussions and debates on various topics or various issues. So from where we come to know, now this is our source, from Buddhist text. which mentions 64 sects or schools of thought. Sects means groups of different thinking, people having different kinds of these philosophical thoughts. Teachers travel, teachers means gurus, travel from place to place. Here, teachers doesn't mean the school teachers. Try to convince one another as well as the lay people or the common man about the validity of their philosophy. And the teacher of each sect, there were 64, and all 64 gurus, they moved from one place to another. They tried to convince each other and the general public about the philosophy they believed in or the way they understood the world. Debates took place in Kuta Grahashala. So Kuta means Kutia, which means a hut with a pointed roof, or in groves where traveling mendicants halted, जहाँ पे साधु संत सन्यासी ये बैठते थे, तपस्वी, mendicants are तपस्वी, जहाँ ये बैठते थे, groves of trees, पेड़ों की झुंड में, there they used to have these debates. If a philosopher succeeded in convincing one of his rivals, the followers of the latter would become his disciples. Now, suppose there are two philosophers. One philosopher is trying to convince the other one. So, A convinced philosopher B. So, all the followers of B will now become followers of A. So, support for any particular sect could grow and shrink over period of time. Many of these teachers, including Mahavira and Buddha, questioned the authority of Vedas. They also emphasized individual agency, suggesting that men and women could strive to attain liberation. So Buddha and Mahavira both had a different viewpoint, and they said that men and women could strive to attain liberation from trials and tribulations of worldly existence. So they said that instead of taking sannyas or leaving the world, we can actually, through trials and tribulations, through difficult times and through difficulties coming in our lives, we can attain liberation. This was in marked contrast to the Brahminical position. Now, what the Brahmins said, this is a comparison between the two. Here we learn about Brahmins, and here we learn about Mahavira and Gautam Buddha. Okay, as we have seen, an individual's existence was thought to be determined by his or her birth in specific caste or gender. So Brahminical text said that a person's existence or his position in society, or what is he going to attain in his this birth and in future after his death, is determined by his or her birth in specific caste. Suppose he is a Brahmin, they used to believe that Brahmin will attain nirvana or will be closer to God. And according to gender also, there was gender disparity even in this regard. So now you have this information here, how Buddhist texts were prepared and preserved. Look at the manuscript here, children, shown here. This is a Buddhist manuscript. It's handwritten, and see how it has been put together using just some threads or a small cord. So how Buddhist texts were preserved, from where have we found them? So Buddhism was then it was preached and it spread in Sri Lanka, in Indonesia, and so many other nations. So this is one example of Buddhist manuscript which was written in Sanskrit. Okay, and it is believed to be from 12th century. Now here is a source about fatalist and materialistics. So this is a conversation between a king called Ajatashatru, who was the ruler of Magad, and Gautam Buddha. So read these sources, Sharon. They are important for you. And from here, as it is written also, what are the problems in constructing the histories and ideas and beliefs when texts were not available at that period? Sometimes texts are not available. So what are the other